Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this ceremony. Today is a special day for Gustavus Adolphus College. Today we are going to ceremonially break ground for a new academic building. My name is Jim Gale. I'm a 1983 graduate of Gustavus, and I'm honored to serve as chair of the Colleges Board of Trustees. You will hear about the building from the provost and from the president, but I want to share with everyone gathered today and all Gustavus faculty and students how pleased the board is to symbolically start today what will be an exciting few years as we undertake not only this project, but other projects that are part of the college's strategic plan as we move toward the sesquicentennial year of the college in 2012. The board is totally committed to you, the faculty, staff, and students, to provide the opportunities for us to build together this building and to strengthen the future of our college in the years ahead. To provide a blessing for this project, I call upon Chaplain Brian Johnson to lead us in a liturgy of groundbreaking. Chaplain Brian.
On a day of celebration, Psalm 118 was used in the temple at a time of gathering. All the people would join the procession from around the perimeter of the room and find their way up into the main altar space. This psalm begins with a call and response, and so I invite you to please join me at this beginning. Your response is, God's mercy endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord, for the Lord is good. Let Israel now declare.
God's mercy endures forever.
Let those who fear the Lord declare. The Lord is with me, I shall not fear. What can anyone do with me? God's mercy endures forever. The psalmist then calls on God for refuge and deliverance, for a safe space. He yearns for the gates of righteousness to be opened and for the community to enter therein. And in fact, that's where the community will enter therein, right in this vestibule, which is sort of marked over to my left. And then the psalmist makes the proclamation which lands this psalm into its Easter interpretation. The stone that the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone, and for this day we rejoice. Let us pray. Gracious God, we come into this imagined space where learning will thrive and lives will be changed. We give thanks for the people who have faithfully worked on this project, consulting and dialoguing over the years, that now has culminated in the dream becoming reality. As we break ground in the future vestibule in a few moments, open in all of us the gates that lead to eternal truth. And across the disciplines of communication studies, economics and management, history, psychology, sociology, and anthropology, may this eco-friendly environment cultivate a setting conducive to the lively exchange of ideas. Bless this space in your creation, bless these people to your service, and continue to bless Gustavus Adolphus College, as together the people say. Amen. The psalmist then invited every community member to join in procession, which once we finish the digging, I'd invite you to do as well, and we'll make our way around the entire perimeter of this building. And as we walk that perimeter, may this echo of a text be resounding for you. And please again join with me as this psalm culminates. This is the day that the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice and be glad.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice and be glad.
This is the day the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice and be glad.
Dr. Feenan.
Thank you, Brian. A new academic building is especially important to the faculty for their teaching and research, and to the students, especially those majoring in the academic departments that will occupy the building. To share with us more about the impact this new building will have on our community is Provost and Dean of the College, Dr. David Feenan.
Good afternoon. This new academic building, we sometimes use NAB for short, is going to provide our campus with much needed classrooms, research and teaching labs, faculty offices, and student gathering spaces. Along one wall, there will be 54 faculty offices distributed over the 3 floors. Each of those floors in that area will also include an administrative assistant office, workroom, student work areas, and departmental storage. 2 other sides of the building will include classrooms and research labs with another row of labs arranged down the center of the building. Between the office side and the classroom side, there will be a gracious 3-story open atrium lit by skylight during the day. We hope that this openness will compensate somewhat for those 6-foot ceilings some of you have been dealing with for an awfully long time. By the numbers, the building will contain 8 seminar rooms, 7 small 30-person classrooms, 3 medium 40-person classrooms, 3 larger lecture presentation rooms, and 2 computer classrooms. In the fall, we will be working through our architects with a consultant to identify the most appropriate instructional technology equipment for these classrooms, thereby raising the bar and setting a new standard for teaching spaces on this campus. The building will also contain labs for personality, cognitive perception, developmental and psychophysiological research, teaching, and clinical work. The neuroscience program will have new teaching and research spaces on the 2nd floor. The ground floor will house GAC TV, KGSM radio, video studio space, and a digital lab, a digital arts lab shared with the art history department. The forensics program will find its own space in the northeast corner of the 3rd floor. While it is our anticipation that this building will establish a new, higher standard for academic space on this campus, the bottom line is that all of this will provide enhanced teaching and learning opportunities for students. New technologies, flexible classroom setups, and gracious surroundings will encourage and support enhanced pedagogical approaches, resulting in an ever more excellent teaching and learning environment for all who are so engaged here. I can already hear, as I'm almost in the vestibule, the rich conversations taking place all over the building as faculty and students work, study, and socialize together. I also expect that these classrooms will be in significant demand from throughout the campus, so beware. Speaking of opportunities, I can't pass up the chance to say that while we affectionately refer to this facility as the NAB, or New Academic Building, we would be happy to have any one of you give it a name. Now let me introduce the chairs and representatives from the 5 departments who will be the primary occupants of this building. Starting from my right, Glenn Barnett is the chair of the Economics Management Department. Please remain standing until you have the longest stand. Rich Hilbert from the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. Kevin Byrne. Kevin is from the Department of History and is currently serving on the core committee for this building. Jennifer Ackel from the Department of Psychology. She has also spent a considerable amount of time working with the core committee. And Lee Brammer from the Department of Communication Studies. These faculty, many of their department members, and lots of other folks from on campus have been working literally for years at designing the components of this building, at working with our architects in putting it together. Let us recognize these faculty who have new homes soon.
Thank you, Provost Feenan. As David mentioned, this new building will be of service to the college's faculty and students. We have asked one of the Student Senate co-presidents, Derek Holm, who serves along with Matt Olson this year. Derek is a management major. We've asked him to participate in the ceremony. Derek, would you please stand to be recognized? Now to share with us more about how this building is part of a larger strategic effort of the college and to introduce representatives from the architectural firm and the general contractor, I call upon President Ohle.
Thank you, Chairman Gale. Today is truly a special day for this institution. It is my distinct honor to be part of the groundbreaking ceremony today and to welcome all of you to participate. I knew when I first saw the plans for the new academic building that we were on the right track at Gustavus. Academics and people first. You need good space for teaching and scholarship and research. I want to thank Provost Feenan and the faculty who have worked so hard with the architects, Vice President Westfald and Warren Wunderlich. The planning for the building actually began in 2004. Today marks the end of a long planning process and the start of an exciting year and a half as we see the building grow right in front of us out of this ground. It is our hope that we will be able to dedicate the new building when we kick off the sesquicentennial, our 150th year celebration at homecoming in 2012. Mark that on your calendar. It is also our hope that the building will be ready to be occupied at the opening of the academic year 2011-2012. Buildings are often thought of as monuments. I've learned over the years, however, that buildings are much more than monuments, especially those on college campuses. Buildings are living and breathing because of what transpires inside of them. Faculty teaching and students learning. Students meeting with faculty and faculty working with students on research projects, and much more. This building will be a beacon on the new West Mall, which will be out here on this area between this new building and Ohle and the Residence Hall. A mall that will carry the landscape and tradition of the right on down to the Arboretum. In fact, it will be another entrance to the Arboretum with an axis from the chapel. The Board of Trustees committed to begin this project and the West Mall project and the renovation of the Anderson Social Science Building, and they have truly made a statement that's loud and clear to all of us on this campus. The board values all of those of us who work here, and the board understands the importance of students learning here. I'd like to introduce two board members to you in addition to the chair of our board, whom you have already met. They are two board members that worked tirelessly on Commission Gustavus 150. First, I would like to ask Dr. Becky Bergman to stand, and remain standing while I introduce another partner of hers on the board. Dr. Bergman was chair of the Academic Programs and New Initiatives Task Force that talked about this new building and many other things that we have to do on this campus. And I want to introduce Tracy Ball, chair of the Facilities and Finance Committee. That task force began to think about how to pay for these buildings, how to bring together the dreams that you as faculty and staff have had for years into a plan that would enable us to start construction on this and many other projects, as well as build the endowment, increase the annual fund, provide for our students who come here, who are entrusted to us with their education. Please thank Becky and Tracy for their leadership. I also want to introduce John Stracata. John, would you please stand? John is the architect, the principal architect that worked on this building, and I know he has colleagues here in the audience. Raise your hand if you've worked on this building. It takes someone's thinking and working with our faculty to conceptualize the building. What you have put together, you and your staff, will be a significant increase to the learning here on the campus and the availability of space for our students. John, I want to thank you for that and thank your colleagues. I also want to introduce Bruce Egglesma. Bruce, would you please stand, from Kraus Anderson. Now, Bruce probably needs no introduction to many of you here at Gustavus, because Kraus Anderson is almost synonymous with Gustavus when it comes to the buildings that are here on the campus. But it's a competitive process, and Kraus Anderson was awarded the bid for this building because of their exceptional ability to build buildings that will meet the needs of our faculty and students. Bruce, I hope you will thank your colleagues and all those that will be working with you. And I know you have some here in the audience. Would you please raise your hand that you'll be working on the building? Thank you for all that you have done in preparation, and thank you for your work you'll do the next year and a half. Bruce? I now want to share with you something that we talked about at the board meeting today. It's an announcement that I'm very proud to make. I want to share with you a visit that I had yesterday with a donor to this campaign and to this effort, who originally wanted to do wind energy on the campus. He was willing to provide funding to help us with a windmill. And as you know, that's not going to be a possibility. Nicollet County has decided that that's something that cannot be built in an area like this. We accept that, but we're going to move forward. This donor has said to us, you can take my $1 million and begin a process of solar energy on the tops of these buildings that will enable us to provide electricity, hot water, and other things that are necessary for us to begin to address renewable energy. This is a commitment this board has, and it's a commitment this institution has to be good stewards of the resources we have. So it's back to the drawing boards. We're going to put some solar on top of this building and enable us to really make a difference in how we treat the resources that we are given. So congratulations. You know, groundbreaking is a special time on a campus. Those here on the podium are the representatives of the architectural firm and the contractor will be the first group to turn the soil. But it shouldn't be just one group. The second group will be all the faculty members that represent the departments and they'll have a chance to turn the soil. And then subsequent groups, students, other faculty. We have our college photographer here, and they will stay here and take pictures as long as you want them to take pictures while you're turning soil, because this building is yours and it's something that belongs to you. It is a building that you have designed, and it will be a wonderful feature for us on this campus. I now turn the program back to the person who has given us the leadership that has been necessary to begin this process of moving forward with Commission Gustavus 150 and all of the projects that we face in the future advancement of this college. I'm also mindful as I look out here that I see a lot of alumni. I see retired faculty and staff. I see city representatives that have been so kind to be here, the city manager and the mayor. Other individuals that really care about Gustavus Adolphus College. And I look out here and look at my board colleagues, and I want to thank them. So now I invite the chair of this board to come forward for a few final comments, and then we'll line up here. We'll go through the process. We'll get some pictures taken. Enjoy the day. I also wanted to say that the board and I will be working so that it will never be called the NAB. There will be a name.
Thanks to everybody for joining us today. This truly is an exciting day, and we all look forward to seeing the fruits of the labor here. And as the president said, you all are invited to take your turn at the shovel. And Bruce, maybe you should just tell us when to stop, and we can save some money on the digging front. As the president said, after the first couple of groups, feel free to come up and take your turn and get your picture taken, so you can be part of one of those pictures 40 or 50 years from now that future students will look at and say, who were all those old people? Thank you very much for being here. It's an exciting day.
That works.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3, dig! There we go. Ready? Dig. Okay, let's throw it.